I'm going to show you how to create music stand name tags using Google Slides, Google Sheets, and the Autocrat add-on. We'll start here in Google Slides and we're going to create the template for the name tags. So to begin, I will change the size of my page since I'm going to be printing these on 8.5 by 11 inch paper. So I'm in my page setup menu. I'll go to custom, 8.5 by 11 inches. So that changes the size of my page. The next thing I need to do is put in the information. On the name tag, I want to have the student's first and last name and also their instrument. So I created a text box and I'll use 2 angle brackets to say that I want the student's first name. I'm going to put a space and then I'll do that angle brackets again for last name. This is because on my Google Sheet, I have a column for first name and I have a column for last name. I'll go down to the next line and do the same thing for instrument. Notice I have those brackets at the beginning and the end of the word. Now let's format this text. I would like it to be a lot larger than that, so I'll go up and change it. Let's say 48. I also want it to be centered. At this point, I could go through and change the font, the color, the spacing, any of those things. Oops. That's all something you can do. And in fact, I think I will go and change the spacing just to make it a little bit more spaced out. We'll go down to 1.15. This is going to go on the bottom half of my paper. Now, on my name tags, I like to have it so that the name tag's folded over and that on one side, pretty large, is the student's first name and instrument. And on the other side, I put that information again, facing the student. That way, when the kids are walking through the room, they can find their seat pretty easily because they're usually walking from behind the chairs. It's easy for them to figure out where to go. An easy way to do this, I'm just going to duplicate this text box, Command D or Control D, and drag it up. Now, the problem, it's the wrong way. If I fold this paper in half, it's going to be upside down. So I'll just take this and flip it upside down. I'm also going to make this text a little smaller. So now I have my name tag, first and last name and instrument. When I fold it in half over the stand, it can be read on both sides. Okay, first step done. Now over to your Google Sheet. I'm assuming in your Google Sheet, you already have this information, the student's name, instrument, whatever else is going to go on the name tag. I've usually collected this information with a Google form at some point at the beginning of the year. Maybe I pulled it off the class roster, something like that. And you'll notice I have that column for first name, a column for last name, and a column for instrument. Okay, now it's time to add the Autocrat aspect of this. So I'm going to go to extensions, down to Autocrat. I'm going to open. We're going to start a new job. So we'll give the job a name. This is just for your purpose. Go to the next. And now you have to choose your template. You can either choose your template from your Google Drive or you can create one here. So we'll go to Google Drive. And it's actually right here. It recognizes I've been using it. We'll select that. And now we can go on to the next step. At this point, what Autocrat has done is it looked at both your Google Sheet and it's looked at your slide and it's looking for those tags, what we had in between the angle brackets. So it's recognizing in the slides we had a spot for first, last, and instrument. And it wants to know how to match them up. So we're going to merge the tab on sheet number 1 here in our Google Sheets. We're telling it that the first row is just a header and that the actual data starts in row number 2. The first tag is going to match up with the column called first name. The last tag is going to map to the column that has last name. Instrument will map to the column that has the instrument name. So we've now told Autocrat what to match from the sheet to the slides. We're going to go to the next. Now we'll give it a file name. How do you want the file that it creates to be named? So maybe we'll call this 6th grade band. What kind of file type do you want it to create? A Google Slides. You can also choose to have it create a PDF. And then the output mode. how do you want the output to look? Do you want it to create an individual document for everything that's merged? So in this case, I would have 10 different like Google Slides documents that would open. Or do I want single output mode, which means it's going to put all of the pages into one document? Since I'm going to be printing these myself, single output mode makes the most sense, right? Because that way I can just push print once and it will print the entire batch. If it was something where I was creating something that was going to be sent to individual students, in that case, I would probably want multiple output mode so that each file was just one particular thing. In this case, you want single. Next, where is it going to go? Okay, so I'm going to have it go to my Google Drive. I could also pick a specific folder to send this file. The dynamic reference folder, you can typically skip that, just click next. The merge conditions, again, you can usually skip that. And then are you sharing and emailing the document? In this case, no, we're not emailing it or sharing it anywhere. It's just for us. Next. Triggers, do you want it to run at a specific time? Probably not. You'll likely have it run when you say so, and you'll hit save. So you've created this job at this point. And when you're ready to go, everything, you're happy with all of your settings, simply click the play button and Autocrat will start working its magic. Okay, so it's looking for the tags, it's starting to merge, and you can see things are starting to pop up into your Google Sheet. It's letting you know 10 rows will be merged, and it's done. So when we come back out here, we see that this has begun. So it gave the document an ID, gives it a URL, there's a link, and then it's just giving you that update of what happened. Now, this information can easily be hidden. This little drop-down menu, simply go to hide column if you want that out of the way. But this is letting you know it's been completed. So let's check out this new file. I'm going to go ahead and click on the URL and let's open it up. So here we have our first name tag, Harry Potter, flute. Page 2, Hermione Granger, clarinet. And as we scroll through, we've got all the information in one spot. So really simple way to make these name tags using just Google Slides and then the Autocrat add-on.